In my last shrimp tank build video, I showed you how to actually drill glass. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to allow the water to flow through the dividers, but not the shrimp.
It's all about shrimps, simply shrimps.
Good day everybody and welcome to this video. And behind me on the counter there are some of the things that you will need to make your hole shrimp proof, but also allow water to flow between the dividers. So let's give you the lowdown on what you need. So you are going to need some stainless steel mesh, and the holes on this mesh are about 1 millimeter in diameter. So even if the smallest, tiniest, insiest, winciest baby shrimp was to get through, at least none of the big ones are going to get through, and hopefully we'll be able to find it and move it back into the tank it should be in before it gets to sexual maturity and starts breeding. So, I mean, it's not even really going to let them through. You're also going to need a ruler, and that's just for measuring the size of mesh that you need. A permanent marker, which is hiding away there. Here, and that's also just to mark the measurements that you're going to measure out. Some tin snips here, snip, 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 and that's obviously for snipping the wire. Some aquarium safe silicone, and that just basically means that it's got no anti-mold stuff in it which could harm any inhabitants within an aquarium. The HA6 marine grade RTV silicone sealant. It's fairly cheap to pick up. Bond-It, I think the company is that make that. Some masking tape here, and that's just to keep the silicone nice and tidy so it doesn't go on the glass too much, or painter's tape some people call it. And also the bit of glass that you drilled, obviously. So let's crack on with the process. Now, because the hole I drilled is 10 centimeters in diameter, the wire mesh I'm actually going to measure to be 12 centimeters wide. That allows a 1 centimeter overhang either side for the silicone to actually bond the wire to the glass. So there is 12 centimeters there. Then if I measure 12 centimeters up, with our tin snips, we're now just going to simply snip along the lines we've marked out. So the reason why I've decided to cut square mesh pads as opposed to round ones, which I did struggle doing this one, is because when you cut diagonally on wire mesh, i.e. to go around the corner of the circle, it just buckles. It doesn't actually cut through it. So yeah, it's quite a struggle to do that. And it just ends up looking like a mess. So yeah, that's why I decided to do square, and I'd advise you to do the same, unless you don't mind it being a little bit tattered and having to hammer it out to straighten it out a bit. Now that's sorted, it's time to work out whereabouts we're actually going to put the wire mesh we cut out over the hole we drilled out. Now, because the hole is 10 centimeters and the wire mesh is 12 centimeters, it's good to leave roughly 1 centimeter either side of the hole. Once you've got it in position, then I'm just going to use some masking tape or painter's tape just to mark out where we're going to put it. This will stop the silicone making a mess when we actually stick it down. Voila, there we go. So we can now start siliconing, and I like to put a ring around the hole. And also a ring around the edge of the square. Well, it's not really a ring, it's just an outline. Now we can go ahead and actually add the square on top. I just push down in each corner just to kind of secure it. And then just smoothing out all the silicone on top so it creates a nice seal. Obviously try to avoid filling in the hole in the middle. Then with some kitchen roll, you can just wipe your finger. Keep it nice and tidy. We'll just lift up the sellotape now, and that should give a nice clean finish to the edge of the metal. And there we go. We just have to wait about 24-48 hours now for the silicone to cure and dry until we can install it into the shrimp tanks. So I'm excited to crack on with that, and we'll come back in a day or two to see how it's dried and how it's set in place. Welcome back, and it's actually been a few days since the last clip you've seen, and in that time I've managed to actually pick up a t-shirt with my logo on as opposed to wearing a jumper all the time. So it'll be nice and cool in the summer now. I'm not going to be sweating under a jumper. Anywho, the silicone has now set, and the mesh is held in place very well. Let's get some close-ups on the actual thingamajig. Now I'm really happy with how this project has turned out. The silicone's nice and flush with the wire mesh. There's no sort of sharp or jagged edges. They're all concealed within the silicone, so there's no harm or no worry about you hurting yourself or scratching yourself when you're algae wiping inside the tank. And also there's no threat to the shrimps hurting themselves on the sharp wire. Not that they would, but you know, it's nice to have it all concealed nice and tidy. So I hope that this has given you some sort of insight onto how to actually attach a wire mesh to a glass divider whilst you've drilled the hole, so it can allow the water to flow through and not the shrimp, which is the crucial thing. If you were to have, say, not shrimp in a tank and some sort of bigger fish, then you could go with a higher grade mesh, but because shrimp are very tiny, we've gone for this ultra fine mesh. I suppose all that's left now to do is to actually silicone in these dividers in the shrimp tanks that I've got and finish the whole project. Do a water test on them, get them all set up and cycling, and then add the shrimp. So one of my next DIY project videos will be putting these in the tanks. So stay tuned for that. If you learned something new and did like this video, then whack that thumbs up. Don't forget to leave any comments, questions or queries down in the comment section below. And if you haven't done already, then hit that subscribe button. And I shall see you in another video. Thanks for watching. See you later. It's all about shrimps, simply shrimps. Let's keep things shrimple, simply shrimps. Do 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 do. Yeah!